Once again, good evening everyone. Thank you for joining this breakout session, and you may ask questions as you keep progressing through the session. So let's get started. All right, hearing healthable technology is important because hearing health is directly connected to overall health and wellness. So hearing loss has been linked to major medical conditions, and we know that treating hearing loss is very important. At Starkey, we have always believed that if someone can hear better, they can absolutely live a better life. In fact, that has been our mantra for the past 2 years because of the many associations that hearing loss has with these relationships and connections to other health related conditions that you see on your screen. So as you can see here, it is very clear that 70% of smokers have higher risk of hearing loss. And you are three times more likely to have a fall if you have hearing loss. And hearing loss is twice as common in people with diabetes as compared to their peers without diabetes. So intake of medicines that are ototoxic can also lead to hearing loss and many more. I'm sure you all are aware of that. So you can see that hearing loss is very connected to many other chronic conditions later in life. Again, we need to make sure that we are the people out there educating the general public, as well as the friends and family members, and of course, the patients that come into your clinic. So the most important thing in all of the comorbid issues with hearing loss is the brain health and cognitive decline. So we know that some amount of cognitive decline is expected with aging, and that individuals with hearing loss experience faster decline than their normal hearing peers. So research has also shown through that wearing hearing aids can help to slow the progression of cognitive decline. So hearing loss is really linked to loneliness. It creates a cycle, as we all know that hearing loss leads to loss of communication. Family members don't call as often because the people can't hear. So which leads to social isolation. So when you can't hear, you stop going to social gatherings or family functions, and this can create a risk of depression and ultimately lead to loneliness. And these factors may contribute to dementia, and that's a very risky thing. So therefore, if you have hearing loss, you are 5 times more likely to be at a risk for Alzheimer's disease or dementia. So in other words, it is as harmful as 15 cigarettes per day. So you can see that hearing loss is very connected to many other chronic conditions later in life. Again, we need to make sure that we are the people who are educating the friends, family members, and of course the patients. All right. So as we just saw, hearing loss is very connected to many chronic conditions later in life. So hearing impairment and communication health are connected to numerous other conditions. You have the opportunity to connect with other medical professionals too, because the ear is an excellent place to monitor health. Look at all the great things our modern technology can do for your patients. And the reality is that if we try and tell our patients about all that hearing aids can do, we will quickly saturate their capacity to focus on what's important for them in their initial visit. So you need to use technology to your patient's advantage. You need to connect why our technology will lead them to have better lives. You can really select the features that can solve their challenges or help them achieve their goals. So something like Fall Alert. Fall Alert is a life-saving technology. Edge mode that we have seen earlier. It helps hear better in most difficult environments. Translate is another feature to ease the communication while talking to someone that speaks other language. And we also have auto on and off feature that helps conserve battery life. So we also have reminders feature, which was introduced earlier this year. So to never miss any important appointments or taking medication, that helps a lot. So we have such amazing features and many more that you see on your screen. So if you want the patients to see the hearing aid as a solution to their problem, then you need to really show them that it is more than just an amplifier and how it can actually help them improve their lives. So with that, we are excited to introduce a number of improvements to the usability and performance of the already amazing Thrive app. We made this app more reliable and more streamlined and more easier to use. So before going ahead, in order to use this app, the patient is supposed to successfully download the app from the Apple App Store, or they can also download the app from the Google Play Store in case if they are using Android devices. There are select Android devices that are compatible for direct streaming. So now let's dive into the Thrive app demo, and I'll get back in a moment. Okay, so this is the home screen of my Apple iPhone, and they are already connected to my Livio Edge hearing aids. And let me directly get into Thrive app. After you are successfully connected, then you can definitely navigate through the Thrive app, which the patient has already connected with. So this is the home screen of the Thrive app. I'll not get into the complete aspects, complete each and everything into this app, and I'll just focus on a couple of major things. So this is the home screen, and on the top right, when I click on that hearing aid icon, you can see that I still have around 75% of battery life on my hearing aids. And right on the home screen, you can see the Thrive score. The maximum of 200 is possible, and you can see that the current score, what I have, is 14, because I just started using the hearing aid some time back. So now, coming down, you can see I have muted the hearing aids, and I can also unmute them. So this is how it is. You can obviously increase and decrease the volume as you want. So for my comfort, I'm just putting it mute for now. And then coming down further, the patients have access to any memories that the professional sets, as well as if they have any custom memories that they have created for themselves. Okay, and then just below normal, you can see 3 dots. And if I go ahead further, you can see that I can navigate through tinnitus features also if they are enabled in the hearing aids. Okay, so now on the bottom part of this app, you can see that there is a navigation bar, and you have 4 options. I'll just quickly go into the second option, and here you can see on the top side the patient has options to play with the sound. They can manipulate the sounds, and they can create custom memories. They have an equalizer. They can also increase and decrease the speech in noise feature. Okay, they can increase or decrease the sensitivity of it. And similarly, in the case where they are exposed to noise, they can also play around with this, and wind noise options, and so on. So they have access to multiple features like this, which are definitely amazing. All right, let me go back to the navigation bar again, and you have the third option. This is the most important option, and we have been promoting this aspect a lot. So here, the patient can look at their own body and brain score. So let's look at the body score first. Body score gives 3 aspects. Okay, first one is the number of steps the patient has taken in that whole day. So right now you can see the target is 10,000 steps, and I have taken 496 steps. And then you have an option for exercise. Ultimately, you have the steps, exercise, and stand to promote good physical health, because if they are active physically, then it improves a lot of aspects of patient's life. In case if they are diabetic, it definitely reduces the scope of getting diabetes. It improves the heart health, and it also reduces the occurrence of cancer, and so on. So therefore, having good physical health is very important, and we are promoting it. And the reason how the way we are able to do this is all because we have sensors in our hearing aids. And let me go into the brain score. Brain score is even more important because we are hearing care professionals. We care for hearing. We are not wanting to just provide complicated amplifiers to the patients, but we are wanting to also help them rehabilitate. So therefore, with the help of Brain Score, it is like a Fitbit for the brain. So they have three options there. The use time, as the patient keeps using the hearing aid, something like if they use it for 12 hours, then they can get that complete score of 40. Similarly, if they are engaging themselves into conversations, into one-to-one conversations or group situations, or if they're listening to music or streaming information. So all this thing will help in improving the engagement score. Ultimately, it is all about feeding the brain with more and more acoustic information and making sure that we are improving their cognitive health. And there are so many articles, there is so much research out there which supports that using the hearing aids the right way can definitely make sure that the cognitive health doesn't deteriorate. All right, so now let's quickly get into the other settings. Now, this last option in the navigation bar, you can see there are numerous options. You have fall alert, you have remote programming, hearing care anywhere. But here I would like to point out 2 or 3 important things. The first thing is Thrive Care. Okay, here you can see that I had added Sachin Saxena as a connection, and also you can add any other person who is near and dear to you. So the patient gets the opportunity to share their details with their contact. So here I have done this setting of sharing the engagement and environment related information with Sachin Saxena, and then exercise and stand. And also, in case if I fall sometimes, it's a life-saving technology, and therefore I wanted them to be notified whenever I have some emergency situation. I'm in some emergency situation. So that's how it is. And then we'll dive into the Thrive Care app later in the presentation. So also, reminders is another new thing. Okay, there are so many old age people out there who are definitely regularly into medications. So therefore, they can go ahead and set a medication reminder, and they can put multiple reminders when it can start and everything, and repeating the reminders and everything. So all this is possible. All right. So similarly, we have many more amazing features, and Thrive Assistant is another one that I would like to point out. Thrive Assistant is connected to Amazon Alexa within the app. So therefore, with just a double tap, the patient can ask questions like what's the weather, and also how is the traffic on my way to the airport, and so many more such things. So that, in brief, is Thrive Hearing Control app, which the patient gets access to with any Livio hearing aid. Starting from Livio all the way to Livio Edge AI, they can connect their hearing aids to the app. All right, let's get back to the presentation. So now, I would like to tell you that you can find all the resources related to Thrive app in the Knowledge Center after this session. And now, aging population is growing, but they also want to be independent. They want to stay active and remain in their homes as long as possible. But as you all know, that if you have an old one with hearing loss, you need to keep an eye on their hearing. You need to keep an eye on their health and well-being through their aging process. I'm sure many of you might be doing that. So Thrive Care is an easy way for a hearing aid user to share data with the loved one. So it gives important information on activity, social interaction, and safety. So the users can enjoy peace of mind. They are connected anywhere, and also they can independently get support from anywhere. And the hearing aid wearers have control over the data that they share with their loved ones. All right, caregiver can enjoy the peace of mind too. Okay, so if they get the information about how are their loved ones doing, are they safe or sound, that's what definitely gives them peace of mind. They can get alerts if the user falls or needs help. It can ease the stress of not knowing. So in short, Thrive Care can help the users hear better and live better. So hearing aid use can increase social engagement and strengthen connection with family members and also friends. All right, so let us dive into the app once again. Okay, so now I am on the home screen of Sachin's phone, and you can see that you have the Thrive Care app in the bottom left side. I open that, and now you can see the data of how Nitish is using the hearing aids. So if Nitish is a user, then this app is pretty straightforward for the caregiver. So they can immediately see what is the target that Nitish has reached. They can obviously refresh it by just pulling the screen and see in case if there are any advances that have happened. They immediately get access to the body score as well as the brain score. In case if the user is not active, then definitely the loved one can always call them and say that, hey, you're not active today, what's wrong? Is everything okay? And that's how it is. Anytime, at any point of the day, they can definitely refresh the screen and they can understand how their loved ones are doing. As you go down, as you scroll, they can get even more details. How many steps did the person has take? How many steps did the user take? And did they exercise today or not? How many calories did they burn? And are they behaving as if they're having a sedentary life, or are they standing and moving around? So all these details is what they get access to. If I click on any one of those, then you can see how they perform for that day based on the time. And then they can also get a weekly summary as well as monthly summary and so on. So in case if the caregiver wants to have more details of what goes on with the feature, then you have the details about it on the lower side, on the bottom part of this screen. So they also get the tip so that they can use the tip to in fact counsel their loved one. All right, as I scroll down further, you can see that brain score related activity is over here. You can see that the that the user has used the hearing aids for just 1 hour and 31 minutes. And then his engagement has been pretty active for that 1 hour 31 minutes, and then the environment he got exposed to also seems to be fine. So another thing is that no falls has been registered, or no emergency situation has been registered for today. But in case if there is any fall or anything that occurs, then the person, the caregiver, gets immediate notification that, hey, there is a fall, and then you need to immediately act on that. So in case if the user is using the hearing aids for a longer period, you can definitely look at the previous data. Here I can see that on this specific day, the person has been pretty active, the brain score is pretty good, but physically the person has not been active. So this is how, in short, just on that single screen, the caregiver can definitely access a good amount of data of the user. And this is how they are always aware of what is happening with that, with the user, with their loved ones, and then keep monitoring them and make sure that they are worry-free. All right, you also have this notification option, and then you can also keep, the caregiver also has access to activate the notifications for any specific thing what they are really interested in. All right, so that's it with the Thrive Care app, and definitely it is one new step that has been taken in the industry where you can care for the loved ones who are hearing impaired. All right, let's get back to the presentation. So, patients should be an active participant in the process of counseling. First, we must identify what is important to our patients and look into their drivers for change. We have to find their 1 or 2 things that are most important and focus on solving their problems. There is almost a complete ecosystem for you to filter for the patients based on their needs, starting from various hearing aid styles with rechargeable options all the way to healthable hearing technology. It is all there for you. So, patient-centered hearing healthcare means caring for the patients in ways that are meaningful and valuable to the individual patient. It includes listening to them, informing and involving these patients in the care that you give for them. So, listen to your patients, understand their concerns, understand what are their needs, and then provide a solution. So you have an edge to provide life-saving and life-changing technology for your patients. So you have the advanced technology that will not only improve your patient's hearing, but is also a platform that allows you to help improve their overall health. This is a technology that can encourage social engagement and provides peace of mind for not only the hearing aid wearer, but also their loved ones. So this in turn helps the patient hear better and live better. So, thank you so much for your time today, and we appreciate your presence online. You will find all the technical resources in the Knowledge Center, and please feel comfortable to post your questions. Thank you so much.